What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already liked, subscribed and shared, please do so. It'd be amazing. And yeah, let's jump straight into the formation and the tactics on this one. Now, I haven't covered this one before. I have used it a few times before, but I've never covered it. It's the 5-4-1-2, and we're running a balanced 47-67 fast build-up, direct passing 47-7-3-1. This formation, I shit you not, guys, is insane for loads of different reasons. You know, you have the tiki taka, you have the switching, you have the long balls, you have the through balls, you have unlimited scenarios with this formation, and it is absolutely solid and plays amazingly well in elite rivals, as you're going to see in the gameplay. I can't stress enough, watch the gameplay, guys. You will see I had disconnect after disconnect after disconnect, had rage quit after rage quit after rage quit. And not only that, I was coming back from 2 or 3 goals down and beating people 6-7-8-3. It was crazy. This formation was so good. And not only that, you're going to see also that the squad here that you see in front of you isn't always the squad that I was using in this setup. So, because I was doing challenges at the time, I had a few golds in here. It's the first time I've used that striker there, for example. Yeah, I was using, Hannibal, for example, I was using his bronze card to begin with, and it still played amazingly well. So it's highly worth you sticking around and watching the gameplay to see exactly how this 5-4-1-2 works. And it's also the same for Old Gen. Yeah, this one is a must formation, and of course it's one of the famous EA competition banned formations as well. They don't like you using 5 at the backs or 3 at the backs. They're banned in EA competition, but however we can use them till our heart's content in this game, and that is exactly what we're doing. We're going to take advantage of this 5-4-1, this very ratty formation, but I can't emphasize enough, you are guaranteed to get 3, 4, 5, 6 extra wins with this, and you're also guaranteed to concede less with this particular setup. Please watch the gameplay, and then we'll come back towards the end of the video and I'll show you exactly how I got this set up. Yep, we'll dive straight into it, guys. You can see from the corner here we get an amazing goal with Mainu at the back post. That is a little bit of a glitchy little bug in the game at the minute, where you pass it from the corner, you run a few meters, hit it to the back post, and you tend to get it in. This is what I'm talking about, like the tiki-taka type football. You can see here, just because you're using a 5-4-1 doesn't mean you're limited to being static and not moving. On this occasion we send Rio on a run, and again you can see here we've got Doku at right wing, 78 rated or 77 rated, can't remember what he is. So we're mixing it up with the players. We're using different players in these situations just to show that the formation is solid and is sound. There's loads of examples I can give you of this formation on how it works, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a 5 at the back, 4 in midfield, 1 striker. Now, what I tend to do to give myself a little bit of respite if I'm coming up against those high press, in your own half type of teams, I send my fullbacks on runs. So I have the D-pad switch to attacking fullbacks. Now, that doesn't necessarily leave you exposed at the back, because you still have the 3 centre backs, you still have the 3 defenders in a straight line defending the box. But the way the work rates are working in this formation is your left back and right back are very rarely caught out, unless you're trying to do a skill move and you lose it through a skill move or through a sloppy pass. If you watch these gameplay clips, you will see that your top of your screen now, Roberto Carlos is naturally running back. Yes, there's a little bit of space, but the centre back, between the centre back and the left back, you can see they've kind of got that man covered. So unless you're doing something absolutely stupid in the game, it's very rare that you're going to get caught out, and there'll always be somebody there to cover. Now, it is a ratty formation. You are going to get a lot of hate from this, whether you like it or not. I've had a lot of hate messages about this, and you're using 5 at the back. Yes, I'm using 5 at the back, but why not? There's no rule or anywhere to say that you can't use 5 at the back. Some people are just naturally comfortable defending this game. Other people are naturally comfortable going all out attack. Personally, I like a balance of attack and defence, and the 5-4-1 I think gives that perfect blend. I mean, you can see here the 2 centre backs, they're quite spread out, but it doesn't matter. You can see now that the third one was just trotting back into position there. So unless you're coming up against a 4-3-3 wide, for example, or a 4-3-2-1 or something like that, it's very rare you're going to get caught out. And even with these formations, even with these 4-3-2-1s, I beat numerous 4-3-2-1s with this formation and this setup. Numerous times I beat them. In some of these gameplay clips actually are 4-3-2-1 users, and they're using the constant press version, which personally is a bit sweaty, I think, and a bit shitty to use, but we all know that's the meta. And this formation, providing you're sending the left back and the right back on their forward runs and you've got them attacking, it's very rare that these formations, it's very rare that you struggle against these formations now, is what I'm trying to say. And you can see here, this guy here is all out attack. He decides to have a high line, but because of the way the counter is set up, and we're using a Pender in this one, for example, with 99 pace, you're going to catch them out all day long. And what I do like about these game clips that I'm showing is I'm also showing you how you can work it from back to front. So very much like in real life, you can play it short out the back, hit a through ball, hit a long ball, whatever, and you're through on goal. Like here, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 passes, we're through on goal, we get the goal 1-0 up. And if you use the switch right, what I mean by that, if you use the L1 and triangle, the lobbed through ball, for example, and again, if you watch all these gameplay clips, you will see multiple examples of that. The AI cannot pick up the runner. And unless you've got somebody that is constantly watching their radar, they won't pick up the runner either. So once you've done the switch, they're out of position. They've got to run all the way back into position. By that point, they've lost it. They've lost the situation, and 9 times out of 10, a goal happens. Here we get a bit of luck where it hits the crossbar. Again, I want to play it out from the back. Don't want to hit a long ball. You can see he's pressing. 2 players running towards me. There's the switch. Nice out to Martial. Martial, send him on a run. Wait for the inverted Roberto Carlos there to get a nice little assist, and then we go 3-1 up. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. With that inverted left back and right back, they run on the inside of the wingers, of the wide players, and by doing that they create that kind of 1-2 opportunity. Now I know a lot of people prefer overlap, and I'm not saying you shouldn't use overlap, you can, but if you're going to use overlap on this type of formation, then make sure you're using your LM and RM on cut inside, otherwise they kind of bash into each other. And again, you can see here's a perfect example. This time around, Roberto Carlos on the outside, don't use him, he's there for support, we get the goal. Also, because I'm pressing his left back and right back with my left back and right back, it means he can't press forward. So if he is using like a 4-3-3 with attacking fullbacks, or a 4-3-2-1 with attacking fullbacks, they can't get forward because I'm occupying that space. So you're taking away kind of like their emphasis of attacking, and that's what you want to do. That's what we want to do in this type of scenario, in this type of formation. We want to kind of stifle them before it starts. And again here, because I've sent Roberto Carlos forward and he's inverted, he's in midfield. So you can see him there, middle of your screen, he's in midfield. He's not getting in the box, he's just waiting on the outside of the box. He's there for a pass if I want it, which I do give the pass to him. Again, you can see naturally the work rates will allow him to do that. I've already got cover on that side, as you can see there from the centre back, but now Roberto Carlos is straight back in position, and that is what I'm saying. You can see him here from 1 minute he's at the edge of the box to the next minute he's back defending. So again, don't be too concerned about sending these fullbacks on runs, because they will get back. They will get back and defend and do what you need them to do. And again here, nice little overhead kick from Bruno. I can't emphasise enough how much I enjoyed using this formation, and I can't emphasise enough that it is definitely worth using. You can see how many rage quitters we had. It was ridiculous the amount of rage quitters we had. I've not had this many rage quitters for a long time. And bearing in mind, a lot of this is done in Elite Rivals and done in FUT Champs. So there's a lot to gain and a lot to lose in these game modes, especially when this was recorded. It was Ultimate Tots, and Ultimate Tots was the reward players. You can see that during this we got the 97 Smith. I've used her a few times. We've got the 97 Smith. We've got another 97 rated. I can't remember who it was. So it is well worth having these different setups, these different formations, to get you those extra rewards. Especially now we're coming up to Path to Glory players. Some of them will be getting upgrades during the Euros, which is pretty good. Again, we don't have to wait too long for things like that. We don't have to wait for like 4 games or within 6 games or whatever, because the Euros, each team plays 3 times, so there's not that much of a gap between them. So potentially there is certain players that could be worth an absolute fortune, and certain players that you know are going to go quite far in the tournament are going to be well worth having. So just bear that in mind. And here, just quickly, I pause it. I'll show you that I'm still using the 5-4-1. I'm not bullshitting anybody. I'm using the 5-4-1 in game, and then we get back into the game again. So I can't keep commentating over the top of this because there's not much more to say. It's pretty self-explanatory. I do recommend you watch the whole of the gameplay just to see how it plays, like what midfield player I have at DM, what midfield player I have at left wing back, for example. Here's a good example between Hemp, who's a left wing, and Roberto Carlos. They like to interchange and switch, and I kind of like that idea. And that's the first time I've used that Josh Way card as well. So it was interesting. And again, here, it glitched out. It didn't show you that goal from Martial, but he has an insane power shot. It's like the animation is not there, so you can't see it coming. But my God, 9 out of 10 times with that power shot, he scores from most distances. It's crazy. I'm not a big fan of the card itself, but the play styles make the card usable, and that's why I kind of did him the play styles and stuff, and the fact that he could play in multiple positions as well. I do like my players to play in multiple positions rather than just being stuck in one position or another. So yeah, I'm going to stop chatting now. Obviously, watch the rest of the gameplay. That Hannibal card, by the way, I've completed him, and he is an absolute monster. Again, I was towards the end of the FC24 cycle. I will go through all my Evo cards as well, the ones that I've Evoed, the ones that you wouldn't even think of that have been Evoed. I've not followed the meta. I've not followed the rules of getting the highest Evo or anything. The cards that are personal to me, and I've got some really, really good cards to show you guys at the end, and that is definitely worth a sub for. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the instructions.
Anthony Martial coming onto the pitch, number 8 Kylian Mbappe and number 7 Martin Odegaard.
So this plays and looks exactly as it says on the tin. The only issue you really have is you have to have a midfield player at centre-back, which isn't a problem for me because I use Mainoo, for example, in a centre-back position, but I use him more of a quarterback type role. So get the ball to him and he can play it out because he has the good passing range and he has the good feet as well. So that's why I'm using him in there. I could use Bruno, etc., but Mainoo's slightly quicker for me, so that's why I'm using him. So anyway, left back and right back is on balanced attack and inverted. I want them to go in between the centre mid and the right mid and the centre mid and the left mid. I want them going to in between these players, much like Man City play or Manchester United play with their inverted left back and right backs. However, In game, I do change them to attack. So bear that in mind. I do change that to attack in game. The left mid and the right mid are on balanced, getting behind, getting the box for crosses, as you can see on both of them. Again, we don't want these guys hitting each other, so we have, like I say, the left back will sit in between these two players. And that's how they're set up. The two CMs, the holding one is stay back, balance, cover centre. The more attacking one is on balance, cover centre. And then the striker, of course, he's stay forward, stay central, getting behind, because you need that focal point. Somebody like a Drogba, Josule, Martial can even do the job there as well. And it kind of makes sense because you're going to need that player to like hold the ball up and basically be a target man, if you like, especially if you're building up slowly. If you're building up quick, you'll get the LM and RM in the game instantly anyway, as you would have seen from the gameplay. So yeah, this is highly recommended. This one, the 5-4-1-2, is absolutely amazing formation. Give it a try. Hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, take care.